You're going out there, getting hot here. It's summertime, or we're coming into summer in New Zealand. I think we had about 90 yesterday, and it's going to get up to 100 plus, so it's going to be hot, 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 as Eddie Murphy would say. Right, here's an interesting one. Why you should make changes to your diet versus going on a diet that somebody else made for you. All right. Now, you might think that's a bit of a dumb sort of thing to say, isn't it? Why would you not want to go on a diet that somebody else made specifically for you? To me, it's a little bit like going to the gym, getting a program made. It's slightly different. Getting a program tailored for you. Most people, when they get programs, they look at them, they do them for a little while, and then they drop them and they do their own stuff, okay? I've yet to meet a patient that follows a dietitian's recommendation to the letter for umpteen years. I do see them, but they're usually pretty sort of weird people that do that, right? And of course we occasionally get weird people, we're naturopaths, but some people are extreme. And I still get people like that every single thing's weighed, even an egg's weighed. They'll boil an egg and they'll say, oh my God, that's 2 grams more than yesterday. I better take that into account. And then they get their phone or watch out and they calculate all this calorie thing and go away. We don't need people like that, all right? The anal people. These are the people that everything perfect in order in their life. In fact, everything's so perfect that their life's a disaster, okay? Now, you can go to a dietitian and get things done. Maybe if you've got a bowel problem or something like that, but how can somebody else work out what you like to eat? But more importantly, how can somebody else work out exactly the right foods that are going to suit your bowel, your digestive system at that point in time? They don't know you, okay? To me, that's like going to a dietitian, or, i.e., let's just say she's a clothes designer, whatever you call them, and then she tells me exactly all of the clothes I need to wear, right down to the underpants and the glasses and the socks and everything. I'd probably feel like a total twat wearing all that stuff because it's not what I want to wear, okay? I don't like wearing what other people think that I should be wearing, similar to diet, okay? I know what kind of food suits my palate, what my mouth likes. I know what agrees with my gut and what doesn't agree with my gut. So I've always made it a point with patients to try and work out what foods they like to eat and work around that premise. Right? Most people all their lives will gravitate between about 9 to 10, 12 different foods, and they seem to keep going back to those similar foods all the time. They can change, and many do, but the bacteria have to change in the process. Your gut will change when your diet changes. And then your gut will change how you think and feel. It's true, okay? You may think that's a crazy concept, but the gut influences the way you feel about a lot of things. So when you make changes to your digestive system, you're basically making changes to your entire life because your entire life is shaped by how you feel and how you think. And remember, that's shaped by the bacterial, what the bacteria do to the food. So that's why I always like people to eat good food if they want to have a good life. But then have someone else come along and tell you that you need to eat XYZ food and on XYZ day at certain portion sizes, go away. Guidelines are good to give to somebody saying, why don't you try this group of foods or try and incorporate a bit of this into the diet. Many occasions I've had a patient who will have avoided a particular food, sometimes for years, because he or she was told they can't have that food. I'll have someone saying, can I eat bananas? I say, well, of course you can. Well, I haven't had a banana for 3 years. I say, well, why? Well, the naturopath I went to said that they're bad for me. So that's very interesting, isn't it? Someone says something's bad for you, so you stay away from it for 3 years. And then almost, if the person's got high anxiety, they eat the banana and then they're going to think, I'm going to feel bad when I eat it. Then they feel bad. I don't tell people things are bad for them unless it's Coca-Cola. Okay, unless it's going to Las Vegas or something like that, and then ending up in the wrong kind of room. That's bad for you. But eating specific foods, trialing them out, is not a bad thing to do. At different stages through your Candida recovery or SIBO recovery, you'll be surprised how the gut can change, sometimes quite quickly. And that can enable you to allow you to eat foods you haven't had for a while, right? On the same token, I also have seen many people over the years with very poor digestive health that kept eating the same food day in, day out, because they were told to eat those foods. And it wasn't until they stopped them or cut them back or switched something out that their gut improved. I haven't seen that once, not twice. I've seen it over 100 times, where a patient was sentenced to a life of eating some crap food, some steamed spinach leaves for breakfast. That's all they're allowed to eat, and then maybe a little bit of something else. And I don't like that. It's not the right thing to do to people. So once you say to somebody, this is good and this is bad, that person believes that, and they will take that. That will be their mantra going forward for 5, 10, 20 years. So when someone says to you, this is a bad food for you and this is a good food, take it with a grain of salt, because 5 minutes from now or next week, that food may be perfectly suited for your digestive system. But remember, we're not talking Kentucky Fried Chicken. We're not talking Dunkin' Donuts here, okay? We're talking healthy food. And I think you know what I mean by healthy food, all right? And you'll be surprised when you eat in the healthy food realm, how many foods you really can tolerate that you were told that are poisonous for your health, like tomatoes, okay, like nightshades, like other foods that contain anti-nutrients, for example. Many patients I've seen now for a long time have eaten these foods, and often for decades, with no problem at all, until one person comes along with a white coat and a pair of glasses and says, you can't eat that food, it's bad for your health, you're going to get cancer, you're going to get... Go away, mate. I'm sick of all this preaching, And that's all it is. It's the police telling us another thing that we can do, this time when it comes to our diet. Crawl away in a hole, go and die in the corner somewhere, and let the rest of us just eat what we like to eat, all right? I just don't like it. So be careful of the food police. There's plenty of them out there, all right? Growing numbers on the internet now, growing numbers. So remember, if you're told not to eat something because it's bad for you, well, you need to have a good think about that, all right? Don't forget to click on the link if you want my free report in the description box. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe.